Alright guys, I just wanted to do a fun little commentary video on the pretty much only true known modern cruise ship disaster where the thing basically sank or at least capsized, the Costa Concordia. Now guys, I'm a huge fan of the Titanic, of disasters, things like that. This is really the only one. I mean, there's been other cruise ships that have run into some issues, but in terms of the massive ones, the ones that look like giant floating apartments, the Costa Concordia is really the only one. Now, if you guys don't know, I remember I was very young and I was on a ski trip in Colorado out west, and I saw this on the TV. They were talking about the ship capsizing because the captain got too close to like a coral reef or something. It's amazing how that happens. It capsizes, it lays on its side where half the water's in half the ship, and then they end up getting it upright. And these were some photos that were taken. This thing has been scrapped. I think it was scrapped in 2017, so completely destroyed. You can see this little area here. There's a nice little staircase. Looks like it had a bunch of water into it. Massive water damage, along with maybe like the theater area right there, something like that. That looks like a corridor to like a big hallway or something. Guys, the thing is, I'm not great at like explaining stuff, but no, that's a hallway, I would say. That's like a bigger hallway to lead to some rooms or something. That looks like some old piano or something. I don't know what that is. It's some dresser or maybe a jukebox. But is that upside down? You know what? I think that photo is, the ship at this point might be upside down. Or maybe those are light fixtures. No, those are light fixtures. You can tell they're light fixtures. That is the elevator shaft. You can see the ship at this point. It was capsized onto its side. They brought it right up. And like all of this area they're photographing here, all was underwater for I think like 2 or 3 years, something like that. This is actually a really interesting photo. So no water got into here. Looks like a tarped off little jacuzzi area there for the cruise ship. So nice little area there with some weird Satan type creatures or so. I mean, what even is that? They have to make the creatures look like that so they don't scare the children or something. Some weird thing. It looks real odd to me. This is the outside of the ship. You can see that's where that water was all around there. It basically has ruined the whole paint where it capsized. So it was underwater for 2 or 3 years, and it's just a brown mess. It's completely rusted off. That is the control area where you steer the ship. You know, really, steering in terms of aviation or like boating, it's really not important. You know, like when you really don't steer an airplane. When you steer it, it takes so long. It's like when they're trying to turn the Titanic, it takes like 40 minutes to turn the thing. It's the same thing. The ship is so big, it takes a while to do it. But it looks like, I don't know what happened to the floor panels in there. Maybe someone stole them. You know what? This thing actually, it ended up capsizing off the coast of Italy. And I think it was an Italian ship. I think it was named after Mussolini, the great fascist leader of Italy. So that's just beautiful. And then you can see this. Looks like we've got a nice little bar area. This area looks like it has some significant water damage to its roof. It's just basically a black blob of nothing. And yeah, it's got severe damage. This is another little theater room. Nice little area there with all the... This is amazing, man. This is really the only time we're going to see something like this. Unless we get a rogue wave, I think that's what they're called. Like what happened in Poseidon. That's a great movie, Poseidon. I think they're called rogue waves. They just are tsunami waves out in the ocean. Imagine something like that happened and it capsizes an actual ship. That would be crazy. But there's a photo of that. This looks just like a little staircase to the third class. I'm kidding. They really don't have classes like they did in the olden days. First class, second class, third class. It's more of just, oh, you pay more money, you get a suite.
but they're not going to say you can't go in this part of the ship because you're not in first class, you know, because it's just not, it's like, I don't know, discrimination against poor people or something. But then again, I would probably be in second class, guys. Let's be realistic. I would be in second class. And then this is just, I don't know what an ugly looking ship, right? Now looks like some type of, common area with balconies. I can't explain any of this crap. This is kind of the outside of it. You can see the massive damage that it had. It's being held up there. The only way that thing is floating is because it's like anchored in. You can see the crap on the sides, the scaffolding or whatever that is, the buoys to hold the thing up. Otherwise, I think it would just sink. That's a rare photo of the elevator shafts with water around the sides of them. So you can see some interior flooding there, a rare photo of that.
That's a bed. Looks like it's been infected with some type of Ebola, maybe AIDS or something. Imagine sleeping there. That actually is one of the hotel room, or was one of the hotel beds. Or is that what they're called? Hotel rooms in, I don't know what you call those. It's like they're, I don't know. I guess they would maybe be something like that, where you're staying on a cruise ship. That's another more interior flooding of it. There's some nice elevator shafts. I like elevators, just not in mansions. I think elevators in mansions are an overkill. If you have like 3 or 4 floors, you don't need an elevator. It looks bad. That's just my opinion. But yes, I'll be honest. If I had a mansion, I would make it a pretty tough decision. I probably would have an elevator. You know what? I probably would. But just because it's a grandiose thing, it does seem out of place, though. And it's not, I understand mansions, you gotta, you want to buy everything, but if it's 3 floors, do we really need an elevator? Unless you've got someone that's handicapped. This is hilarious that they took this photo. This is like the photo from Titanic when all the dishes fell over when the ship tilted to the angle, and they take that photo on there. Looks like there was a fire here, but that's just water damage, I'm guessing. Looked like that area of the ship was underwater during when it capsized. Actually, how is there electricity? That makes, you know what? They might have just put lights in there or something. Yeah, there's no way that ship has electricity at that point. This is one of the rooms. Looks like one of the crappy suite areas. Boy, that looks like really old cabinetry. I don't know what's going on there. That doesn't look nice. Little mattress there as well. That is a bunch of life vests. So apparently, I was reading up on this. 32 people died in this situation, over 4,000 total. So certainly, it's kind of a weird thing where it capsizes, but half of the ship stays above water, and they end up shipping everyone out. That's another photo of some area. I think it's another photo. It's just like, how many photos of the elevator shafts do we need? I guess, we need a lot of them, because you can see kind of under the water, there is, looks like, some of the ship. That's actually pretty clear water. I'm surprised. I'm not sure what they're doing here. Looks like some type of rope apparatus they've tied in there, maybe to hold the ship up or something. And look at all that luggage, man. A lot of people lost some luggage there, probably just clothes and stuff, but that is crazy to see all that luggage. There it is right there being held up. You can see it's barely above the water. Really, and I think I've got some photos here at the end that showed how high above the water it actually was, but it's just barely hanging on at that point. That's a photo there from Reddit when they went to explore the thing. You can see that. You know what? I think there was actually a good photo of it with a pool. Maybe I'll try and include that one. Or I don't know if that was... No, that had to have been this. I'll have to try and find it. You can see there is a diver. That's a great image with the Costa Concordia sign underwater. Pretty sweet there. That is more elevators. We need more elevator photos. That's a pretty good one right there. That's where it capsized, so you can see it's over on its side. It looks like a nice little dining area, bar stool area right there, with a bunch of water and all of the furniture floating, things like that. That's a more HD photo. That's a nice quality photo there.
there is the night it actually sank. It kind of just tipped over, and you can see everyone getting out of it. I don't even know how it flooded, honestly.
I mean, there it looks like it's savable. There it maybe, I don't know, maybe it was flooding it. I'm guessing it was taking on water, and then it capsized. It kind of slides right under. If you guys understand, it capsizes on its side, and that's the result of it. That's the unfortunate result right there. And then it stays like that for 2 years. They get it upright. They bring it back to an Italian dock, and then they end up just scrapping the thing. I'm not even sure what you'd be able to scrap it for. But there it is in its glory. That was in 2008. I'm kidding. I actually don't know what year it is. Probably like 2010 or something. Because this happened, I believe, 2012. But that is how high above the water it should be compared to how it was. And then that's, I mean, they're trying to perform some type of surgery on it there or something. That's when they were trying to get it upright. They're trying to, I mean, the thing is just stuck in on an Italian coral reef at this point. Just rotting away. It's just rotting. And then they do get it up, and there it is right there on a dock, ready for scrapping. And then there's the final photo of it, a nice little HD image of it completely capsized. But I'll try and find some other photos because I do remember, I might just search it really quickly to see if we can find the photo of I'm actually searching Google right now, see if we can find the pool here really quickly if my internet, oh, you know what, it might have, oh, there it is right there. That's a pretty cool image. That's a pretty cool, imagine there was still some water into it. I guess because it tipped over, all of the water actually had to have fallen out of the pool. So at least the pool stayed above the water line. I guess that's cool. And they have that's a pretty crappy, water slide. Some of these cruise ships, they got water slides. They go outside of the ship. They go, who knows where, they dump people out and stuff like that. So they're definitely getting pretty crazy with the cruise ships. I've never been on a cruise ship before, but they are a main attraction, and this is pretty much the biggest disaster. I mean, definitely the smaller cruise ships have had issues, but in terms of the bigger cruise ships, this is pretty much it. In terms of a possible sinking, this was definitely the worst scenario for the biggest of the big ships, and by that I'm talking about the cruise ships that look like apartment buildings because of how big they are. This is like the big one that actually ran into a significant problem, and it was because of user error. It was because of human error. They rolled up too close to the coral reef, and they scraped up against it. So it wasn't even a rogue wave or anything like that. So guys, just wanted to go over some interesting photos. I like doing videos like this where it's kind of just a narration and I edit it and stuff like that. So that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description.